is actually very, very huge news. So I guess we'll switch gears and we'll actually talk about this. Jrue Holiday tonight was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks for Eric Bledsoe and George Hill. And now they got Bogdanovich. They are going to be loaded next year. You got Middleton, Bogdan. Also, y'all, you and Glasses Malone were in our chat saying they needed a 2-guard. Now they have a 2-guard. That is going to be a scary starting 5. You're going to have Eric. I'm sorry. Bro, do you know how happy Giannis is Eric Bledsoe's gone, dog?
I think everybody.
I am he gone?
Yeah, but EJ just wasn't getting it done in any aspect of getting it done.
Yeah, he really
especially in the playoffs. Like it was now when I saw George Hill was gone, I was like, that's a little bit unfortunate. I think that they'll need to
not really. Why?
I was like, but listen, I was like, I think that they'll need to replace him with some shooting. But you got Bogey, so you replaced him with the shooting that you wanted to replace it with. And also, I think Bogey is I know Bogey is better with the ball in his hands as far as actually creating his own shot, not just waiting for somebody to pass the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. But I do think that this is an amazing trade for the Bucks. I think that the NBA every year, they continue to prove to us that it really is just a one large, vast arms race. And if you look at what the Nets are doing and what Harden is doing, trying to force his way out of Houston, and even if you look at the Bucks realizing that they have to put stars around Giannis to lose him. If I'm Giannis, guess what? I'm still leaving. Y'all, you can have fun. I'm still leaving. I mean, I'm not staying there, bro.
I mean, like it depends, but also I think that
Dodge, as my mother would
say. But
I'm still leaving.
I hope Giannis stays because I think that this is a situation in which the Bucks have tried to do everything they possibly can to keep Giannis happy. They have tried to do they signed his brother to a 2-year deal, G.
I mean, so what?
Like they tried to do
talented. You act like Francis is
he wouldn't be in the league.
Is Jello?
He wouldn't be in the league. He wouldn't be in the league. He wouldn't be in the league.
Jello ball. Yes,
he would not be. No, he wouldn't.
How? All of them probably gonna be in the league, including his youngest brother.
Yeah, the youngest one seems to be the coldest one. The oldest one would not be in the league. I'm sorry. He would not be on the NBA team.
He would have never got no team.
He'd be in the G League. He wouldn't be on the NBA roster. I don't think he would have.
You gotta stop playing with me.
I don't think he'd be on the NBA roster. I don't think he'd be on the NBA roster.
You're lying, bro.
I do not think he'd be on the NBA roster. I honestly don't think he'd be on the NBA roster.
He's an energy guy.
And he would have been on the G League team, G. No. He literally would not have made the NBA team.
Decent in the NBA ball that he played to me.
When did he play NBA ball? Like 5 seconds.
He still played in games. Stop disrespecting that man.
Yeah. At the end, like with 2 minutes left.
Stop disrespecting him.
With 2 minutes left, when they were up 30 against most teams, and he was playing a third unit. He looked okay. He's not an everyday NBA player. Point being,
I don't believe he's an everyday NBA player, but I don't believe Felicio's an everyday NBA player, and the Bulls gave him however many millions of dollars.
Felicio wouldn't be,
so I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but check this out. Felicio's not gonna be in the league once that contract up. Who signed Felicio?
Nobody.
Okay then. So
Felicio got a big ass deal. You telling me Giannis' brother can't even make it? Stop it, bro. Point all of it is that I'm still leaving if I'm Giannis. I can get any other team to give my brothers a contract, including the Lakers.
Yeah, but
the Lakers will sign all 6 of the Antetokounmpo brothers, and that's only 5 of them.
Yeah, sure, but at the same time, I hope that he stays because, again, I think the Bucks have done everything they can to do right by Giannis. So I hope that he stays. I mean, I even think, this year, I think they looked at Giannis's limitations and they went out and got people to assist him along with those limitations. Like, you look at the team last year, you think, okay, down the stretch, we really only have Middleton who can, create buckets. Now we got Bogey, we got Jrue Holiday, we got other guys to help Giannis out so that we don't even put Giannis in those situations.
Yeah, I'm not upset at that, but guess what? They're still gonna fall apart.
I don't think they will.
They're still gonna fall apart. They're gonna fall apart, bro. And it's gonna be hilarious. They're gonna fall apart. They're gonna lose in the second round to like the Bulls or somebody random.
That's not happening. No, it's not.
No, it's not. They're gonna
relax.
Fall
that's
apart,
not happening. To the Bulls.
Random.
To the Bulls. Please say a better team.
Random.
Please say a better team.
Probably won't be the Bulls. Probably
at least say the Pacers. At least say the Pacers.
It won't be the Pacers. The Pacers won't have anybody by the time this free agency is over.
No, they're gonna have people who leaving.
Vic is finna be gone, G.
No,
they
he
don't
not.
have anybody right now, G.
Yes, they do. They got
right
Turner.
now.
They got Turner, Sabonis. They got
They've been trying to get rid of Turner for forever. Sabonis been on the trading block a couple years. Come on,
Sabonis was not on the trading block. Sabonis was an all-star this year. He wouldn't. No, he wasn't.
He wasn't on the trading block.
No, he wasn't.
Just because you were all-star, that mean you ain't on the trading block.
He wasn't on the trading block. Now Turner been on the trading block for a minute. Sabonis went on the trading block. No, they haven't.
Been on the trading block over these past couple years. Yes,
no, they have.
No, they have been floated in trade rooms. Yes,
making that up. Miles Turner has.
I'm not making that up.
Sabonis has
not making that up.
Miles Turner has. Sabonis has not. Are you typing in Sabonis trade rumors?
I literally just put Domantas Sabonis trade rumors, and a bunch of results just came up. So I just made that up.
You could put anybody in there for trade. You could put anybody in there for trade rumors, and it'll come up. Literally anybody.
People been talking about trying to trade the man for years because he's the only decent asset they had, bro.
No, he's not. About? Miles Turner is a good asset.
Miles Turner ain't no asset. That's why he's still sitting his ass there. He ain't no asset.
No, bro. Miles Turner. A lot of teams will gladly take Miles Turner. The Rockets can't use Miles Turner right now?
No, they should have kept Clint Capella when they had him.
I mean, in retrospect,
they had a better version.
In retrospect, no, they didn't because they're two different players. Because Capella can't shoot the ball. Miles Turner can actually shoot the ball.
Huh?
Miles Turner can actually shoot the ball. Capella can't shoot the ball. If you had him as a small ball center, it'd be great.
He can't play in the playoffs. He can't make no mid-range shots, and he don't do nothing when he counts. Give me Clint Capella over him any day. But what do you think about this from a basketball standpoint from the Milwaukee Bucks? Obviously, getting Jrue Holiday adds and bolsters their defense. What do you think this adds? How do you feel that this will run? How do you think this team will look like? Coach Bud, I believe, is in the hot seat this year. But honestly, I think everybody's in the hot seat, and I see some people in the chat saying, that the team lacks identity. I still agree with that. I don't know what their identity will be.
Defense.
You'll say defense, but I don't. But they identity been defense, and they ain't been winning that way. You got to switch it up.
They've been winning though. Look.
No, outside of been winning. What did they won? What did they won?
Listen.
They ain't won nothing but 2 MVPs to Giannis. That's it.
Listen, bro. This is what we consistently disagree. If you have it back-to-back 60-win seasons, you are winning. Now, they also went to the East Conference Finals. Now, the bubble, I don't know what the hell that was. That didn't go correct. But even still, even with looking at the bubble, it wasn't like they got ran out the gym 5 straight times. One of them games was literally decided with no time on the clock. If that game go to overtime, the whole series, the whole playoffs completely might look totally different. Then if Giannis don't get hurt, so again, I'm not going to say I'm not saying about like they just begin ramshacked these last couple of years. That hasn't been what's happening. I still think it's defense. I still think you have with the MVP. You also have the defensive player of the year. You also, with every NBA player talks about Jrue Holiday, what's the first thing they mention? He's the most underrated defender in the NBA. You have basically 2 of the best defenders in the NBA. Brook Lopez, who's also low-key one of the best defenders in the NBA, at least at his position. I think their identity is defense. Is defense and paint scoring with defense and getting out of transition.
If you telling me that their identity is defense and paint scoring, they're going to lose again, G. They can't exactly. Shout out to you, bro. I agree with you. They can't win in the playoffs. They can't win with that style, bro. They cannot win in the playoffs. By the way, if you're watching this, drop a like on the video for us. And drop a like, drop a comment. If your comment is good enough, I'll put it on the screen. If it's weak, I'm not putting it up there.
I disagree with that because they've won in the playoffs. They literally went to the conference finals. Like they've been there before.
And they lost.
Yeah, but again, they didn't have
been nowhere. They've been nowhere.
Listen, they didn't have the pieces. They didn't have the pieces that they have right now. They have much better pieces, especially offensively. Again, like I said, to help Giannis in his inefficiencies right now. He's not a guy who, at least from what we've seen, is a guy you can just throw the ball to with 2 minutes left, walk out of the way, and depend on him to get a bucket. We haven't seen that. You only had Middleton. Now you got Middleton, you got Bogdanovich, you got Jrue. You got a couple more guys, so you think that you can take that responsibility off of Giannis. And Giannis in those situations can be a decoy, set a screen, crash hard to the rim, rebound, run a pick and roll, something like that.
Every time I hear you say Giannis and use the word decoy, my soul just cringes and I want to choke myself.
That's his fault. You can't run over people the whole time.
I didn't say it was nobody's fault. That doesn't change the fact that it makes me cringe and I want to choke myself when I hear you say that.
That's his fault.
You see the jersey back here.
Get you some moves, G.
And also, I just want to say this for the record. I threw this jersey the same way I threw that LeBron jersey. Remember when Giannis lost and I took that shit off the wall and I threw it?
You took it off the wall. You didn't throw it like that.
I did. I took it off the wall and I said, "Get this shit out of here." He lost.
He didn't throw it. He didn't choke though. That's what we disagree. I don't think Giannis choked.
He choked, bro. He choked. He choked. He was hurt.
He didn't choke.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
I didn't look at Giannis,
but he did choke.
I didn't look at Giannis in that playoff series and think that he looked like he didn't want it. I don't think he wanted it. He just got defended well. Like his deficiencies just popped out. They would give him the ball.
I want you to want it enough to where you win.
Gee, they would give him the ball and tell him like run over people with 2 minutes left. That's not gonna work, bro. Give Middleton the ball, G. Let him do what he do. You saw in the game in which they won and they gave Middleton the ball down the stretch. He was balling. I think that people sometimes have a tendency to force the ball to your best player in certain situations, to your best player and not the player who should have the ball in those situations. Just because Giannis is your MVP doesn't mean when you need a bucket, he has to be the person to go to. I saw that. Is that true though?
No. Okay. All right. Look at y'all. See, y'all be in there trolling. I be watching y'all, G.
I knew it wasn't. I knew it was a troll,
Y'all be in the chat room trolling too. That's why I can't trust y'all.
You really thought our phone wouldn't have exploded if that really happened?
G, I don't be looking at my phone when I'm doing Hoops and Brews. I'm working. I don't be looking at my phone when Hoops and Brews is going on. If something is wrong, the people in my house is the ones that I gotta look out for. And something wrong, come knock on the door. Like Scott did. That man really knocked on the door for some cool.
You thought it was over.
I thought it was over, dog. I thought it was over, bro. Damn, bro. My landlady coming.
We had a good run, G. We had a good run.
But before we switch to the next topic, patreon.com.
What you think about it?
HNB. Patreon.com/HNB. Go there right now. Subscribe. You will get all of the content in podcast form early. So go patreon.com/HNB. But me personally, what I think about this entire trade is I think that this is a great trade for the Bucks. As I said before, if I'm Giannis, I'm still leaving. Unless he really, really loves the city of Milwaukee, I don't understand why you stay. I'm leaving on the first thing smoking. I want some warmer weather. I want more of a metropolis type of city. I want some beautiful vibes around. I got a young son. I want him to be able to grow up in a nice climate. And honestly, I just don't want to live in Milwaukee. I understand what everybody's saying. He loves Milwaukee. He loves the city. I don't care. That don't mean nothing to me. It means Jack Squidoosh to me that y'all say he loves the city of Milwaukee. Carmelo Anthony loved Denver. LeBron James loved Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, Dwayne Wade loved Miami until they didn't love him back. A lot of people can love a lot of places, but once you free, you can love wherever the hell you want to love. So if I'm him, honestly, my goal is to win a championship this year, so that way when I leave, y'all can't be mad. That's how I feel about it. So it's a good trade. As I told you in Glasses Malone, I really don't want Jrue Holiday to play the point guard, but I understand that that's the role that he will be brought in for. I personally like Jrue Holiday better at the 2-guard position. I don't believe that he is a guy that needs to run your offense. I have seen his work running offenses for the past 4 years in New Orleans. I'm unimpressed. I am vastly unimpressed. The thing that this team needs is a perimeter playmaker that can make shots and make threes at the end of games or in crunch time. That's what he will provide for them. I don't really need him to do much else than that. And also the other thing about them getting Bogdanovich from the Kings is that he's another guy for them that will actually be able to step up and make key shots in crunch time. He's a guy that, was always money in Sacramento when he was there. I think that the foreign aspect, that team having a lot of foreign players will do well for them because those guys can kind of, find a commonality with that.
Ain't it just 2 now?
Huh?
Ain't it just 2 now? Didn't they trade those?
What do you mean?
It's just 2 foreign players. Well, 3 because Giannis is brother. 3 because Giannis is brother.
Yeah, they can still find a commonality, G. Like you say that like if it's 2 black people in a place and you one of them, You telling me you ain't looking at that other brother trying to find no commonality with that brother? Come on, stop lying to me, brother. Stop lying to me, my brother. You sit up here and you're lying to me. You're on these airwaves and you're lying to me right now, my brother. You're gonna find somebody that look like you or that speak like you, and you're gonna go and hang out with them. So I actually do think that it'll be a good move for them overall. My only concern is the same concern that I have. Unless Giannis can be able to hit a 15-foot jump shot consistently, it doesn't matter what the hell he does, because what you clearly see is teams gonna load up on that man, force him to start spinning around like Pascal Siakam or that totem in Inception, and he gonna get stuffed at the rim again. Now, the only difference is Eric Bledsoe, as I said last night, was shooting like 34% from the field goal range and 30% from three in that series versus Miami. That is unacceptable, especially while Jimmy Butler is cooking y'all at the same time. When you are the guy that is an all-NBA defender. That's also the other reason why I wasn't upset at Giannis for not guarding Jimmy Butler during that series.
To be fair, Bledsoe was hurt that game.
Last all-NBA
Bledsoe was hurt that game, though. Bledsoe was hurt that game. The game that he didn't guard him, Bledsoe was hurt.
Which one?
Bledsoe was hurt.
He was killing in the whole series.
Yeah, but hold on.
If he wasn't scoring, he was passing. He was setting other guys up. Jimmy Butler was immaculate in that final.
Yeah. You mean semifinals? Yeah, but I think Bledsoe did miss the first two games of the series.
Semifinals, but still,
I think he did miss the first two games of that series.
Huh?
I think he did miss the first two games of that series. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did.
Might as well miss the whole series the way he played.
He might as well.
Look, Danny Green missed his way out of Los Angeles, and and Eric Bledsoe got treated like Jrue Bledsoe when Tom Brady arrived. Goodbye.
What do you think about this for the
sayonara?
What do you think about this for the Pelicans though? Does this confuse you at all about the direction that they're going in?
Why does this confuse me?
What is it like? What does Bledsoe?
This doesn't confuse me because what this says clearly is that Lonzo Ball is not their point guard of the future, and that they moved on, and that Stan Van Gundy is a guy that likes to have defensive point guards. He likes small point guards. Even if you look back to a guy like Jameer Nelson, he likes scrappy point guards. I think Stan Van Gundy is a guy that really is going to, if you look at big men underneath him, big men thrive in his systems because he knows rule number one: get them the ball and get the hell out of the way. Eric Bledsoe's job is going to be to play defense, try not to clank some shots, and get the hell out of Zion Williamson's way. And I think that that's what they're looking for. I think even if they do keep Lonzo Ball, I honestly wouldn't mind running Lonzo at the 2 and putting Eric Bledsoe at the point guard, and maybe telling Lonzo, hey, man, we want you to more so try to be more of like a 3-and-D guy. You're 6'6", you got a nice solid frame. Maybe point guard might not necessarily be the thing for you. Maybe you need to be more of kind of a stretch corner shooter. And you can facilitate when you get the ball, because I do think that Lonzo Ball has the ability to change the game on the defensive end. So I think from that personal perspective, I don't think that this is a bad trade. Also, George Hill is a guy that can come in and that can also mentor those young guys. The one thing that they did not have in the playoffs was really perimeter playmaking when they needed someone to slow the game down. Jrue Holiday was basically 100 miles per hour, balls to the walls the entire time that they were playing in that bubble, which is the reason why I think that they just didn't do well. If you go back and you listen to my tweets, I was literally saying trade that man.
It was more than that. It wasn't just Jrue.
It was more than that. It was more than that. But at the same time, trade that man. Get that man clean up out the paint. So all I will say is that this is a good move for them, but I do think that they better tread water very, very lightly in thinking that just because they did this, that Giannis is going to stay. I think that it really depends on the culture. I also wouldn't be surprised if you wind up seeing Coach Bud get fired before the season starts. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they just are thinking, you know what, maybe we just need a completely new direction, and try to figure something different. I don't believe Coach Bud is a coach that is going to lead a team to a championship.
But this is my thing. Like I said, I tweeted this. Even if Giannis does leave, you created a situation where you would have extreme amounts of cap room, and you have Bogey, and you have Middleton, and you probably have $70 million in cap room. You can go out, overpay somebody who's like 84, 85 on 2K, and at least still be competitive. Now, obviously, your dreams of winning a championship are gone, but you can still be competitive in the Eastern Conference. And who knows, you may make it back to some of the same places if you use the money correctly. So even if he does leave, I don't think that they're in like a terrible situation, because not like they're locked into like terrible contracts all across the board. Brooke Lopez contract will be up next year. They'll have some money. They'll still have Bogey. I don't know what his contract is, but I'm assuming his contract can't be too much for who he got traded for. I'm assuming his contract can't be too outrageous. Maybe something like 14, 15, 16, 18 a year.
He is a restricted free agent though, so it's a sign and trade.
Yeah,
so I don't know what the deal is, but still.
Yeah, but I don't think it can. Like, you got traded for Ilyasova. Appreciate it, bro.
Australia. Drop where y'all watching from, and drop a like. Let us know where y'all watching from. Go ahead.
You got traded for Ilyasova, DJ, and Dante. That can't be no more than maybe 14 in salary. 14, 16 in salary. Maybe. If even that. So you get Bogey, you got Middleton on the roster, and then you have like basically a clean sheet. Now, granted, you wouldn't have your actual picks, but they did, do pick swaps with the Pelicans. So it's not like you have no first round picks at all. You still have a chance to either have, pick capital, draft capital, or be able to, if you scout well, get like, even Giannis was like what, the last pick of the lottery?
Yeah.
So again, like one of them, it was like 13, 14. So granted, you wouldn't have a top pick, but you still would have some first round picks where you can, maneuver and do something with. So again, like even if they did leave, it isn't terrible. It's bad, but it isn't terrible. It's not like you just be falling. It's not like Cleveland. When Braun left Cleveland the first time, they were just desolate. It's not like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a scenario in which it's going to be desolate just because of the fact that this team has a good constructed team, and they've always built a solid team. I believe it just so happened that Giannis really turned into the guy that Jason Kidd kind of saw that potential of him being. Do you think the sky's the limit for this team? Do I think they're going to win the championship? No. Were they my pick to win the championship last year? Yes. It was them versus the Clippers, but I don't see it this year, man. I'm sorry. Giannis took all of the wind out of my sails last year, seeing that it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. I spent all year long making jokes, calling him freak of the East, this and all of that, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, he let me down. I'm sorry. He let me down ultimately. And I don't have faith in this team. I think that they'll probably win they probably win like 55 games or 58 games, but I don't really care.
They're going to lose 12 games all year?
I mean, they almost did last year.
Fair.
They almost did last year, and they didn't have Jrue Holiday, and they didn't have Bogdanovich. So I'm just saying. So my only point on that front is we'll see where the chips will fall, but I mean, I think it's very, very interesting. But speaking